Hey YouTube, Shukun here with the review of the Power Rangers Megaforce Lion Ranger Cycles, or whatever you particularly want to call them. The replacement for the Sword Cycles from the Samurai line. Same price point, this was $11.97 at Walmart, despite the fact that that price tag says $19.97, that's not how much they cost. And they will be, I think, like $13.99 or so at Toys R Us whenever they decide to get them in. But yeah, pick this up at Walmart. So basically, for those of you that know Gosei Ground in Goseiger, it was supposed to be Gosei Grand, but from romanization and such, had two additional little Zords that connected to Groundion, or Grandion, which was Celion and Skyon. Apparently they couldn't fit those two within their plastic budget of the actual Gosei Grand Megazord, or Gosei Grand Megazord, and it just got released as a Lion Megazord, which isn't actually out at stores yet. ToysRUs.com stocked it, but no one's actually received theirs yet, but it shouldn't be too far along. Or too far away, rather. So instead of packing them with the Lion Megazord, they decided to give them cycle attachments and release them as the cycle figures. So here we are with the Sky Lion Red Ranger cycle, the Sea Lion Black Ranger cycle, and the Sea Lion Blue Ranger cycle. Now you may be thinking there was only two. Yep. This is the Hyper Header from Goseiger, which is now called the Ultra Change Zord. So that's this right here. They basically took the same body as Celion Skyon, made it a lighter blue color, and released it as the third cycle because they needed to get this guy out without giving us Data's Hyper, because he's not going to be in the show, since they're redesigning his concept as Tenso. So, these are the three that we got, and each one comes with a particular little artwork here. Two cards, which are up there in the packaging. Here's the Sky Lion Red Ranger cycle artwork, and here is the Sea Lion Blue Ranger cycle, which is essentially what fans are calling the Ultra Change Blue Ranger cycle, since it's not a Sea Lion at all, it's the Ultra Change Zord. So, all of these are the same exact body with a Ranger, a Zord, and these little cycle bits. They roll okay if you kick up the stand. They do roll pretty good. Obviously, they are bikes, so they fall over instantaneously, but they do roll pretty decent. And they have their little kickstand for display purposes. Now, each one comes with a, again, horribly done figure, done in this not even gonna comment pose for riding a bike. The arms do move, the head does move. Again, the head details are actually really well done, but everything else is pretty much crap. And again, gonna pretend that these don't exist. So there's red, here's black, and here's blue. Yep. Cool. So, yeah, the cycle bits on these all just pop right off of there. For all purposes, they don't do anything else besides the fact that they wanted to release these as motorcycles. So there's a motorcycle attachment. That's basically all they do. So you can just pop that right off, and then it pops off of this Zord Builder port right here. So it does have a Zord Builder port attached to the motorcycle bit, if that, for some reason, is cool to you or anything like that. I guess you can attach it to an arm or something if you really wanted to. But yeah, these bits are 100% pointless. They come right off. So here you have the Sky Lion. He's a flyer, so his wings do pop out. Unfortunately, they can go all the way up, so you're going to have to try to balance them out. The joint isn't the tightest. But it should look something along the lines of this. Here is the Skyon from Goseiger for comparison. So yeah, he's definitely shrunk down a bit. Basically, he got the body of Celion with the wings of Skyon, so he's kind of a mixture. You'll see when I bring Celion in. But yeah, the base is still the same-ish, but it's actually quite a bit different, and obviously, as you can see, quite a bit smaller. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. I forgot Skyon did have a little fin there, which is actually embedded in right there. So they got one thing right at least. So yeah, pretty nifty, even if he is a little bit smaller and not as thrilling. So yeah, here is the Sky Lion. The Sea Lion is right here. The bike bits are gray, and that's really all there is to him. So if you unattach the Zord port right there, pop that out. And as you can see, these are meant to be the legs for Gosei Grand, but also when they do the Gosei Grand Megazord, that's a mouthful right there, it acts as an arm. So it can do both. And here he is. These are all the same base body mold, so he still has the wings. If you wanted to get fun, you could lift them up and pretend they're like torpedoes or fins or something like that. Since he was meant to be a submarine and he doesn't really have any sort of fins or anything like that. But here is Celion, a much darker blue color for the American release. Or a more vibrant blue, since this is actually a darker blue, but it's more prominent. Lots of silver missing up through here, since none of that is painted. You can go in there with some silver paint and touch that up if you want to, since it does kind of make the legs stand out a little bit if there's some silver there. And like I said, there are no wings on Celion or anything like that. It's just strictly this guy. So yeah, again, much smaller and some lack of paint details. Lastly, we have the Ultra Change Zord. So yeah, this bit is a dark gray. Pop the wheels right off. Attach that over here. And like I said, this guy didn't actually have a Zord body in Ghostager because it was the Datus Hyper, Datus the character, when he used the Hyper header and it attached to him, he turned into Datus Hyper, which was the giant robot version of him. That header acted as his actual helmet. As you can see on the Japanese release right here, it acted as his helmet. So instead, since we're not using him, we got his header in the form of the Ultra Change Zord. And of course, since it was distributed as the cycle, it had to have a body, so they just reused this body with no detail of any sort in there. Just very generic. It does still have the wings, so you can do whatever you want to with those. And you can still use this as a leg if you wanted to. I will demonstrate that in a minute. But yeah, he still rolls and stuff, and he's pretty much just a smaller version. And even still has a little bit of the detail from the helmet there. And granted, that's just there for the wheel well mostly, but it's still there. It doesn't open up like the Datus version does, but it's there anyway. So pretty neat. And like I said, these do all feature the Zord Builder ports. So if you wanted to kind of make like a blue version of Gosei Great, you almost could with these. Make sure the peg part is facing towards you when you do that. And like I said, they do act as legs for Gosei Great, so you can do things like that. You can attach it to the Samurai Megazord. You're one blue limb away from making a crazy blue version of this guy. So pretty neat. So you do have those options as well. We will be seeing the Celion, or the Sea Lion and the Sky Lion again when we take a look at the Lion Megazord whenever that decides to actually come out. Megaforce has had the strangest release pattern ever. So, like I demonstrated in my Sky Brothers Zord vehicle review, the Ultra Change, which I was calling the Hyper Change there, since I didn't know they were going to change it from Hyper to Ultra, was possible with everything except we were missing this guy. Only this guy. And like I said before, this part is not used at all in the combination, so you can simply set it aside. Put it wherever you want to. So let's go ahead and bring everyone in and once again combine them. I will demonstrate how to do it again, just in case you didn't watch that video. So bring in Gosei Great. Gonna raise it up a little bit. Detach all of these. Bring this part down like so. And this one is gonna go right here. Tiger is going to go over here. Shark is going to go right here. Phoenix is going to go right there. T-Rex is going to go right down here. The Rhino is going to go right there. The Kuwagata Beetle is going to go right there. The Saw Shark is going to go right there. That's in, right? Yep, it is. Manta Ray is going to go right here. Hawk is going to go right here. Going to take the helmet and just place it right into the space allotted right up there. So now he's got a helmet. Spin him around. Have him face the wall because he is in timeout. Bring in this. Pop these guys off. Pop off the turbines. Bring out the pegs that are back here. Place them where they go. Just like that. Take off the hammer shark and place this appropriately. Now I forgot which way I did it before, but you can basically switch the blue and the black positions. It doesn't particularly matter which one goes where. I'm going to put blue over here just because that's how I'm going to do it. Since the instructions don't actually specify which one is which, it's basically up to you. Since it's kind of hard to see on the packaging shots which color goes where. So let's just do that for now. Alright, so the hammer shark is going to go right there. The crow, I forgot his mouth does not open. It's going to go right up there. The pterosaur is going to go right up there. And then finally we have the hyper change Zord is going to go right there. And we have completed the Ultra Gosei Great combination completely. 100%. So very cool. Very menacing looking, I guess. With just so many heads everywhere that you lose track of it and everything. Real quick comparison between the Ultra Gosei Great Megazord over here and the Hyper Gosei Great as seen over here. From the front, it is pretty much the same exact thing. Obviously missing some paint details and size differences. But other than that, aesthetically pleasing wise, it is identical except for like the differences in the birds up there and stuff. So outside of the aesthetic differences, with the certain Zords, base-wise, it's pretty much the same until you get to the backs, which are nothing alike whatsoever. The backpack for the Ultra Gosei Great Megazord is made up of the 3 Zord vehicles with some turbines on the legs. So that's what we get. In Japan, it was a combination with Data's Hyper. Like I said before, they are getting rid of Data's Hyper, so we got the backpacks instead. But Japan stuck with the Data's thing, and so you have this robot doing a headstand that attaches to the back of Gosei Great. And that's just how it works. It's very, very strange. I never really liked that combination, honestly, because of Datus' role in it. Not that I hate Datus. I love Datus to death. He's so adorable. I want to give him a hug. But just the fact that this combination involved him doing a headstand and attaching to the back was just very, very weird. So yeah, outside of size, the way this was formed was a lot different. So I really like what we ended up doing with this. I can't say I really dig the whole Zords as Cycles thing. Mostly because it just gives you so much more that you have to actually pay for. But from a business perspective, I absolutely have to hand it to Bandai for thinking of this. With so many like little Zord, like particularly the header Zords, to go through this year, what better way to release them than actually give the worst selling toys a reason for you to purchase them? the cycles were never really big sellers. What better way to sell the cycles than to make them a necessary part of the actual Megazord combinations, thus requiring you to purchase them. So from a business standpoint, it is absolutely genius of them to do it like this, and I have to give credit where credit's due. I never purchased cycles, yet with this line I did, because it's a necessary thing to do, plus you get cards. Speaking of the cards, you get 2 with each set, the Ultra Change Zord and Ultra Gosei Grand Megazord with the Ultra Change cycle, Knight Brothers with the Skyline in front, and a Gosei Grand Megazord card with the Skyline, and Knight Brothers Zords with the Sea Lion in front and a different pose of the Gosei Grand Megazord for the Sea Lion. So very, very cool. You get 2 cards each plus a necessary Megazord component. This guy is obviously the least important because all you get is the one little Zord bit that's necessary. But if you've been collecting all the toys, you do get an additional limb to play around with in your Zord Builder collection. So in that aspect, it's not really all that bad. Very cool looking overall. I like the slimmer aesthetics of the Ultra Gosei Grand Megazord compared to Hyper Gosei Grand. There's a little bit more free air and it doesn't look as bulky and blocky. So I have to give credit where credit's due there too. I do love the American way of slimming down the Megazords to where they're not as brickish and they look more like the actual suits a bit. So very cool. Like I said, releasing them at Cycles was really smart, so props to them for that. You can check out shukenshinobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course, while you're there, you can check out the Goseiger vs. Megaforce toy comparison article that I'm going to be putting up shortly. I know I've been saying that for a while, but, you know, busy and such. And plus, check out RidersRangersRambles.com, the podcast bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. So take care and have a great one.